Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is April. I go by Ruby Rouge here on the YouTubes. Thanks so much for stopping by. Today I want to do something a little bit different. I'm going to review a weight loss program. Since I have had my son, I've really been struggling with losing the extra weight that I put on during pregnancy, and so I've decided to start trying some of these weight loss programs and just see if it can help me, because I've been stuck. My son is 3 at this point, so it's been 3 years. I am really stuck. My weight has always been a struggle for me since I was a child. I've had issues. As I got older, I really figured out how to manage my weight and how to keep it at a consistent level that I personally felt comfortable with. I lost an initial chunk of weight like right after my son was born, and then it just stuck. I really just plateaued. I mean, my weight fluctuated. I hit a couple new numbers, but really it was just up and down, up and down, up and down. I mean, it still is. We're still in this, I keep saying was, but is the case. I'm still in this pattern, and it's really frustrating and annoying. It's like as soon as I would lose a pound, I would get sick or something would come up. We would get busy, and it was just like, well, there it goes again. It would just go right back up. So in September of 2019, I was just incredibly frustrated. I've been working really hard. I'm like, I've got to try something. I've got to try something different. I've got to go outside of what I know. So let's try one of these programs. And I was watching YouTube, and this ad came on for Metabolic Renewal. And I was like, that's it. You know, because in my mind, obviously we know with pregnancy and all of our hormones fluctuating, we know that our hormones are messed up. But so in my mind, I'm like, this is it. This is about hormones. This might have some new information for me. This might be something different for me to try to get this under control. I clicked on the ad and I started looking into the product, and I have to be honest, it felt really gimmicky. I was like, I don't know, this just doesn't feel right to me. The things that they were saying felt incredibly knowledgeable, but the process itself, the website, so much around it just felt gimmicky. So I started looking at reviews, and I was like, okay, so nobody had any like weird scammy issues. Everybody got their product. People were generally happy. Okay, so we're gonna try the product, but I have to be honest, I was a little bit nervous. I paid $46.95 in September. That was taxes and shipping. And I believe the product is still the same price. Like I said, it's a little bit gimmicky and they kind of hide the price, I feel like. Whatever, it was $46.95. Which was a completely fair price, in my opinion, for what I got. What I received was the workout DVD and plan. Guys, this workout has, 3, 6, 9, 12 workouts. Like 12 workouts for $50 is a good price regardless. So I was really happy. We'll review these things individually, but I got the workout plan. We got this female transformation tracker, and we got this big book, which is both a recipe book and an educational book. I believe all of these things were available in both digital and print format. I'm not sure about the workouts. I feel like I could get the workouts digitally. I'm not sure though. Before I start really getting into each individual thing, I know a lot of people are really impatient and don't want to watch the whole video. So look, if you want to try the plan, if you're super interested in the plan, I personally give it a go ahead. It didn't really work for me. It's not the perfect plan for me. There are also a lot of positives with the program, and I definitely don't think it's a complete waste. I think you're going to take away something good from this program. I purchased this back in September. It is now June, and I've decided to start a new program. So I'm going to do that one a little differently. I'm going to actually go ahead and start reviewing it soon. So I want to go ahead and get this review out so it didn't like clash. If that makes sense. So I didn't have 2 workout programs or 2 program reviews going on at one time. So this is the end of this journey. I have already started a new one, and I will keep you guys posted on that one if you want to follow along. It's Noom. I will go ahead and tell you that. I want to go ahead and start the review with my favorite part, and that's the workout DVD. I like this. I like the workout DVD. The ability for me to work out at home has always been a staple of my fitness plan. I can do it distraction free. It's not dependent on anybody else. It's not dependent on anybody's hours. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I want to run downstairs and do a workout, I can do that. I personally love having a good home workout plan. I'll add in other classes and different things as well, but part of my main staple is to have a workout I can do at home. have a lot of workout experience, and I'm going to say these workouts are really, really nice. They're beginner friendly. I would think that even if you're a beginner, you're going to be able to follow along. You're going to be able to complete the workout, but they're also challenging and hard. So I do insanity workouts, and I do these workouts, and I wouldn't say that they're as hard as the insanity workouts, but there's a comparison there. Another thing that I really like about them is that they're short. They're only 30 minutes a piece. And I appreciate that because they do burn a lot of calories in a short amount of time, and that's really nice to be able to fit in some shorter workouts in your routine. What I really didn't like about the workouts was the plan. So listen up, because this isn't true for everybody else. Here's the thing. I am an athlete, and I work out really hard. I work out really long. I work out a lot. I work out 5 to 6 days a week. And I like to sweat. I like to get really sweaty and just overall really push. Dr. Jade does not recommend that you work out as hard or as long or as many times a week as I do. And after pregnancy, it really took me a long time to kind of build back up to this fitness level where I'm even able to do that. And then I bought this workout routine, and then here's somebody telling me, oh, don't work out that hard. And I'm like, I just built myself back up to this level. Like, I have to stay here. I'm going to lose it. And so I couldn't talk myself out. I couldn't talk myself into doing something easier at that point. I really felt like I wanted to continue doing what I was doing. So I just completely ignored probably a big chunk of his advice, which, may have impacted my results. I'm not sure, but that's what I felt comfortable doing. So I didn't really necessarily agree with the plan. And I think that if you're super athletic and really work out really, really hard, like I do, or maybe even harder, but if that's your kind of philosophy, I think it's really going to be hard for you to switch back into 3 30-minute workouts a week. It's not very many. I really wish I would have had this program right after I had my son, because I was just getting my fitness levels back, and this would have been perfect for me to start at. I really want to reiterate, though, that I really love these workouts, and I would pay, probably, knowing what I know and knowing how much I like these workouts, I would pay the $50 just to get this workout plan. So for me, the workouts are totally worth it just by themselves. Food. Let's talk about the food part of the plan. Okay, so I followed the meal plan, sort of. I ate his meals in my way of cooking. So, diets always give you these example meal plans, and they're always like a really complicated meal Monday and another one on Tuesday, and another one. It's too many different foods. Breakfast would be like 7 different shakes every morning. It's like, come on. I don't eat like that. That is way, way, way too stressful of a way to cook and meal plan. At least in my opinion, I prefer to eat kind of the same thing every day. And dinner, I'll eat 2 or 3 days in a row, and then lunch, I usually kind of eat pretty much the same thing every day. I took one suggested breakfast, one suggested lunch, one suggested dinner, 2 suggested dinners, and kind of made that my week. Doing the food and kind of the workout plan, I did end up losing 3 pounds in about 2 months. And before you're like, oh, that's nothing. For me, that's an incredible accomplishment. I think when I'm doing really, really well, I tend to lose about 1 pound a month. So I don't lose weight quickly. I mentioned that I had really stubborn weight loss before. That's just my weight loss. I'm into that. So don't compare my number to yours. The fact that I lost weight speaks volumes to this plan. It also really helped me break through a plateau that I had been at for weeks. So there wasn't even any water weight involved in that number. I had been at this plateau, and then finally in 2 months I lost 3 pounds, and that is not any water weight. So the problem with the food and the program for me eventually ended up being that I didn't care for the recipes. Some of the lunches were good, and I still use some of those. The dinners just didn't really taste that good. And the food portion of the program leans low carb, which does normally work best for me, so that was great. I was all in. The problem for me was that although I tend to eat this way anyways, I was personally running out of ideas for good, healthy, low carb recipes, low calorie, healthy low carb recipes, I think is the trick there, on my own. And so I was fresh out of ideas. I go into his meal plan, here's a whole bunch of new recipes, and then I keep trying them and they're not very good. They were just kind of boring. I don't know. They just were never really worked. They never really satisfied my taste buds. There was always something a little weird about them. I felt like the recipes were sometimes kind of wrong. I don't know if that makes sense. So for me, being where I was, being bored with my own recipes and being kind of like in a rut with my own recipes, and then not getting any inspiration from this food program, it just kind of fell flat. Okay, so let's talk about the education. Diet and exercise, something I've done a lot of research on. I read all the new articles. If I see any new information, I'm really into it. I don't have any certificates or degrees, but I do have a level of discernment and knowledge about this topic. And I have to say, I really felt good about a lot of the advice that Dr. Jade has given you. I mean, he gives you a ton. He really, well written. They really dive into hormones and your body system and your physiological systems. If you're interested in learning about the body and learning a little bit more about your hormones and how all these things affect and work together, I think there's a lot of really good information in this book. And love the workout. You got a good education book here. So, for $50, like I feel like there's a lot of really good things here. The last thing I want to talk about is this tracker. Now, the tracker is really something special. Usually when workout plans include a fitness tracker, it's like a piece of paper and you write down like your workouts, or you write down what you ate. This isn't that kind of tracker. This is a really in-depth tracker. Let me talk about it a little bit more. So basically this is like a big, large quiz for all of the areas of the bodies that, hormones control. So like the very first one, I'm not going to show you my scores, but the very first one is health, bad odors. Do you have underarm odor? Do you have bad breath? Do you have, stinky feet? And the list goes on. So you have all of these different ideas that kind of help teach you and really dig into your general health, your general overall hormone stability. And something like this could be really good if you are having problems, to help you kind of connect the dots and put things together and see how you're doing. So that's really all I'm going to say about that. I'm happy with the program. I definitely don't regret my purchase. I lost 3 pounds. My last recorded weight date on this program was 11/26. That's right near Thanksgiving. Right around the holidays. I did get sick directly after that last weigh-in, so that really impacted me, and then it was the holidays. I fully intended to restart the program after the holidays, and then I remember I got sick in January, and then something kind of came up and threw me off, and then the COVID thing happened, and that made getting fresh food kind of a challenge, and a lot of his meals and recipes were really, included a lot of fresh food. So I didn't want to add that into my stress. And honestly, I just started to feel like if I hadn't gotten back into the plan by now, something just wasn't quite right. I needed to throw in the towel with this plan. And then I kind of started to realize, I don't like the food. I'm not looking forward to getting back into the plan because I don't want to cook those meals. And that was the only way I knew how to do the plan, if that makes sense. Because I was already doing the workouts in my own way. I was already kind of doing the workouts. So the only thing left was to add in the food, and I just couldn't motivate myself to do that. Here's things that, I have a couple things that I do think Metabolic Renewal should address, and that is that the purchasing process feels gimmicky and scammy. And there's no reason for it. This is a totally good program. Like, people would buy this. They don't need it to be gimmicky or scammy. I think people would pay more for this if they would even address this next concern, and that is this plan needs to be an app. It's a little bit complex to devise your own plan based on the information in here to kind of keep track of it, because it does kind of revolve around your hormonal cycle. So there's something like things you can do differently depending on what part of your cycle you're in. And I think that that's too hard for us to keep track of. We got enough to keep track of. And if this were in an app and it was just like, hey, you can run an extra mile today, or hey, you can eat an extra serving of carbs today, it would just be a lot easier to keep track of that way. And the last piece of the last thing that I think that they could do, and this is also adding into it should probably be an app or at least an email group, is that there's no community. So once I started to fall off the wagon, had I had somebody like sending me email or sending me a text and like, hey, you're not doing anything, you're not being engaging with us in any way, that would have maybe got me back into it, maybe not. But once again, both of those suggestions are things that are going to make this program quite a bit more expensive, but I think the basics of the program are so good, I think people would buy it, and I think it would work really, really well for people. And I think they would be willing to pay more money for it because it's a good program. The problem with it is there's a lot of DIY. A lot of DIY and needs better recipes. But once again, if you were in a community setting, you guys, we could share recipes. Anyways, so there's my thoughts on the program. If you have any questions, let me know down below. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you come back in a couple weeks. I'm going to start reviewing my next new diet. I hate dieting. Pre-pregnancy me would have told you, I never diet. It's about lifestyle. Now I'm dieting and I hate it. I really do hate it because I don't really subscribe to diets. I don't think that they're really that great for you. But, you know, sometimes you just got to do something. I got to do something. I got to get my body back into a good rhythm that's comfortable for me. Okay, so thank you guys once again. I will see you again soon. Bye.